How many of you have the habit or had the habit of studying just a day before the exam? Probably all of us, right? And I don't think it's any exception. Earlier I used to feel probably this is something like Indian folks actually do. But what I understood was it's a common practice across the world. So let's face it, like why are we doing it? We know it's very stressful. We know it can get very chaotic. We know it's not the right way to do it. Yet we are doing it every single time just before the exams. And you know by now that it's not a very effective way of learning as well. So why are we doing it? In this video, let's understand why we're doing it. Is there a better way to do it? And most importantly, what is the best way to ace your exam without having the stress? So without any further ado, let's get into the topic. Hello everyone, this is Kapil Reddy, founder and CEO of Zuperly. Today, as I told, the topic we're going to discuss is all about how to ace your exams in the best way possible. So the first thing, as I told, why do we do it? Probably there are multiple reasons, right? Because studying is probably good, learning is probably good, but facing exams has become stressful, especially in the Indian environment. We have a lot of stress around exams because there are huge expectations, all sorts of things come in place. But how can you move away from this chaotic stress? So that's something you can figure out by yourself by understanding what is the whole purpose of why you're learning this. The reason why I'm stressing on this is, imagine you're spending a lot of time, money, effort and whatnot to actually study for something. Let's say you've picked up a degree, you are an engineering student or a medical student. Imagine the effort and time and money that you're putting into it. Let it not go waste. And before you forget anything else, remember that you're the one who signed up for it. So why not do it in a more structured way? So now I'll just tell you like how can you actually find interest in something which you're not very interested in as well. So first and foremost, let's say now our sole goal is to ace the exams without the stress that usually comes within. And let's not get into this habit of studying a day before the exam because it's completely useless. You might get a good grade, but it's not at all useful. All that effort you've put in studying, preparing and writing the exam is completely waste. Now coming back to the main topic, let's discuss on how can we actually make our everyday learning or studying much more delightful, especially if you're writing exams or if you're about to face exams. Let's try to understand how can we do it in a more structured way. The first thing I would say is, let's say irrespective of which college you're in or which degree you're doing, or even if you're attending for competitive exams, why not try and first gather all the previous question papers? I think by now it's a very old technique, but unfortunately, not many people do it. To be honest, our education system hasn't changed much. Textbooks have remained the same forever now. Probably 20-30 years, they're just like minor corrections or minor changes. So how many questions can you actually get from that particular subject? Not many, right? So what people usually do is they keep repeating the same question papers or same questions. So your first thing you want to do, let's say you want to learn about thermodynamics. Why not collect all the exam papers from the previous years? So the first thing is you are a little more familiar with what sort of questions can come in that particular topic. That can be very helpful for you. So now that you've gathered all this information, second thing is something which can actually get very interesting if you start practicing it. The reason why we get bored of studying the same stuff again and again is if you're too focused on academics or if you're only focused on your textbooks. It can get monotonous. You just don't feel the variety of it. And as humans, we always crave for new things. And the moment we are done with it, the novelty wears off and you just don't feel the interest anymore. So to avoid that, what you could do is, after you collected all the previous exam papers, now that you've got some familiarity with what sort of questions can come in, try and research some articles or videos or podcasts outside of your academics. Or you can also watch some documentaries, if at all there is few documentaries on that particular topic. In this way, first you'll get some practical way of learning things and you're out of your academic way of learning things. That can actually pick your interest. And once this is done, now what you got to do is just come back to your academics, try to understand the concept in a practical way. That's the easiest way to do it. Let's say you're not able to understand the concept, just try reaching out to your professor or try to ask your friend. But what you got to do is understand the practical utility of that particular topic. How can we use that particular topic or concept in your practical world? That will actually stay with you for a much longer time. And that's very important whenever you're trying to learn something. If you're really interested after knowing the practical usage of that particular topic, there are higher chances that you can retain this information for a much longer time. So coming back to the fourth step, now that you've collected all these resources, let's say you've collected all the previous question papers, you've gotten all these resources outside of your academics, what you got to do is just try summarizing the content in your own way. Don't just go with whatever is written in the academic textbooks, because that's what they have understood and they have written. Now our goal is to have our own understanding and to try and take notes in your own understanding. That helps in two ways. One is, first, you're able to process the information based on what you already learned, and you're writing in your own language, a language that you can easily understand. So in this way, first, you're creating a summary of notes on that particular topic. Now there are two advantages. One is you have all your resources listed and you have all your summary blocks neatly put together in one small area. In this way, whenever you want something, you can quickly refer to a relevant resource or your summary notes. And let's say, imagine you are not fully able to understand the summary notes that you have created, you can always refer to the bigger resource, which is also available here. So needless to say, Zuperly 100% helps you to do exactly that, where we have this dedicated learning spaces for each of your learnings. For example, thermodynamics, as I told you, first you got to collect everything that you want on that particular topic, and you can also embed YouTube videos or any podcasts or articles, PDFs, whatnot. Anything and everything can be embedded into your summary blocks as well. And then you have the ability to create your own notes. You have all this content of that particular topic in one dedicated space. So you're not juggling or context switching between too many things, and you know that all your focus can get into this particular thing. Ideally, what I'm trying to say is, you are now able to consolidate all that information or notes on that particular topic into one single space. So next comes the important step, which is scheduling your learning. Let's say you have your exam coming in 2 months. Just have a basic plan that you want to dedicate 1 hour per day to ace that particular topic. Now that you've already gathered all the information that is relevant and you have all your notes put together, why not dedicate just 1 hour learning that every single day? For that, again, you can have the scheduling option, which is part of Zuperly. After you're done with the scheduling, and let's say you finish that entire topic in 1 month, and now you're getting into the revision state for your exam. So for that as well, Zuperly has a built-in algorithm which will automatically give you a revision schedule after you're done with your initial scheduled learning. So because of this revision schedule, all you got to do is just come and attend the session at a dedicated time that is allocated to you. Once you do this, there'll be higher chances that you can ace your exams and you are much prepared for your exams than anybody else out there. Of course, for everybody who's trying to use Zuperly, this should just be a breeze, because that's what we built this entire application, right? We want you to focus on learning while we take care of the rest. And that was the sole intention with which we built this application. And preparing for exams is just one use case in which you can actually use Zuperly very effectively. So my point is, now let's say that 2 months exam, let's say you have the exam within 1 week, you're actually much more confident because everything was scheduled, sorted and revised for you. Of course, you have done the work, but still, you've done it in a very structured way, without the pain and effort of getting overwhelmed with all the organizing, all that, and waiting till the last moment to actually learn something. So try doing this and you'll see a significant difference. You'll start enjoying the topic. Of course, it's not like every topic that you come across is something you'll be interested in, but end of it, if you want a good grade, you need to ace all these topics. It all depends on what you're personally interested in. Try doing it even for subjects which you personally don't like. I'm pretty sure you'll still have a better advantage in learning things. And again, then it's up to you whether you want to retain this information for a longer time or you just want to have it for the sake of your exams. Completely up to you. I hope these simple techniques will make a difference in the way you learn, because that's what Zuperly stands for. Zuperly is a new way to learn. Let's change the way we are learning things at the moment. For that, we need support of each one of you. So please help us spread the word in your network. And please do like, subscribe, share and comment on this video. As I told, your feedback is something that can actually help us improve the product further. And we have some big updates coming soon. And also, you will be able to see all the tutorials of how exactly you can use Zuperly. So what is all that we have built and how incredibly powerful this tool can actually be for your learning. Simply put, it's a learning companion that helps you at every step of your learning journey, that will help you accumulate knowledge forever. So I hope this was helpful for you. Please do tag us and reach out to us if you have any other feedback to share. So thank you so much. I'm signing off. I'll see you next time. And before I leave, have a great weekend and a great week ahead. See you all soon. Bye-bye.